Hey guys, welcome back to Nancy's Homestyle Kitchen. Well, summer is almost to an end, but before we end summer and jump right into all those fall flavors, I want to share one more lemon-inspired recipe. So today we're going to make a lemon loaf, and it's going to be somewhat similar to the Starbucks lemon loaf that some of us know and love. Let's get started. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I took a 9x5 loaf pan. I sprayed it with olive oil spray, and I put a piece of parchment in the pan so it's easy to lift the loaf out. So that is already prepared and waiting for us. In this bowl, I have 3 cracked eggs, and I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. I almost said half cup, but I have a half cup measurement. So let's do 1 cup of sugar. And then I have 1 cup of sour cream. So there's that. And here goes 1 cup of sour cream. And then we will give this a good whisk and get it all incorporated. Okay, that is nicely incorporated. To this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon extract. I bought one of the little bottles of this from Walmart, and I think the bottle made 1 loaf. So if you could get it off of Amazon, I think your money's going to go further. You'll get a lot more quantity for your dollar, because it does take quite a bit of extract. But I really like that lemon flavor. So let's do that. And then we're going to add a half a cup of avocado oil. That's good. And finally, we're going to zest 1 lemon. We will be using the lemon juice to make the glaze. So I'm not going to cut it or anything just yet. I just want to I have a microplane, and I just want to go over pretty much once. Sometimes you might need to go back over it, but you only want to get the yellow. You don't want to get the pith, which is the white part, because that is bitter. Okay, so let me show you this lemon. So there's a couple little parts, but I don't want to go back over it too much because I don't want to get any of the pith in there. So let's scrape as much of this in here as we can. Yeah, it falls right around the corner. Especially, I live up in the Pacific Northwest, up in Idaho, and we've actually had some rain already in August. Has never rained on my birthday in my entire life, but since moving up here, we had rain. But once I can't wait for fall and to share with you some of my favorite fall recipes. So when I'm thinking about fall and then I'm seeing this lemon, I'm like, ugh, lemon totally has my heart. So it's like, let's make 1 more lemon recipe before we dive into the fall recipes. Okay, so all of the liquid ingredients are incorporated. The only thing we have left to do is baking powder, salt, and flour. So to this, we're going to add, I believe it's 2 teaspoons. Let me look, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And half a teaspoon of salt. And then 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm going to use my half cup measuring cup that I used for the sugar. I think I just got flour all over my apron. Okay, I'm going to give it 1 final mix to incorporate everything, and we will get it into our loaf pan. Between the lemon extract and that fresh lemon zest, it is really, really fragrant and it smells so good. I can't wait to have some of this. Okay, that is mixed enough. So let me scoop this over to the side. Get my pan. And we are just going to pour it all into the pan. Okay. So there we go. I'm gonna put this into the 350-degree oven, and it is gonna cook for 50 to 60 minutes. So as soon as it's done cooking and cooling, I'll come back and we'll make the glaze together. We're back. The cake only took about 53 minutes to bake, and I had it on a cooling rack, and it has cooled completely. So I took it out of the pan and the parchment paper, put it on this nice serving tray, and we're gonna go ahead and make the frosting. And the frosting is very easy. 3 ingredients. So here's the lemon that we zested for the interior of the loaf, and now we're going to just use some of the lemon juice. So I'm gonna squeeze out. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, the lemon is juiced in here. I'm gonna take the lid off. It catches all the pulp and the seeds. Now, I have a problem, honestly, when I decorate. I always tend to make the glaze or the frosting too runny. So I'm gonna go a little less on the lemon juice to start with. It calls for a teaspoon of vanilla, so I'm just eyeballing it. And the recipe from Avery Cooks, where this came from originally, calls for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm just gonna use 2 to start with. Get a whisk and see how it comes together. It's really amazing how the smallest amount of liquid will make powdered sugar go from a nice thick consistency to over runny so quickly. So this was just 1 cup of powdered sugar. Let's see what and see, I want it a consistency like this, because otherwise it's too runny and it just always falls off the cake for me. So we're gonna go with this consistency right here. And I am not a professional cake decorator. So let's see. I'm just gonna kind of do a swirl. And I think I'm gonna try to smooth it over the top, because I like when every bite of the top of the loaf at Starbucks has that little bit of that glazy lemony frosting on it. I think that makes it really, really good. So let's see, let me do this. Scrape all of this out. And then I'm gonna use an offset spatula here to continue to frost the cake and get it all nice and even. There's that store, Nothing Bundt Cakes, and their frosting on their bundt cakes always looks perfect. It's just these perfect little swoops, and it's nice and thick, and I'm always admiring how nice their cakes look. Okay, so we have a couple drizzles along down the sides, but I am okay with that. Right? When it's not perfect, it's what? Rustic, and that's what we're going for. Okay, let's cut into this and see how it turned out. I'm so glad I went a little less on the liquid for the frosting, because I can tell it's already starting to set up, and it's only been on here just for a couple minutes. So here is our cake and our lovely little slice, and you can see how pretty that has turned out to be. And let's take a taste test. You can tell it's really soft. So lemony and sweet. I can see the little flecks of the vanilla beans in that vanilla bean paste that I used. I probably misspoke and said vanilla. I used some vanilla bean paste because I just think it really amps up that vanilla flavor. But for sure, this has lemon flavor through and through. It's gonna go great with coffee or tea. And there you have it, a simple lemon loaf recipe, perfect for your recipe box and for the end of summer. So over the next few months, I'll be starting with some of my autumn favorites and fall flavors, and I can't wait to share those with you. If you like this type of content, please hit that like button and consider subscribing, and I will be back next week with another recipe from my kitchen.